This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Karl Marx's contribution to sociology is indisputably great, as he is considered one of the most influential theorists in the sphere of sociology. He is well known for criticizing capitalism and the political, economic, and social consequences that it can bring. He vividly describes his vision and provides the advantages of communism in his works, predominantly in The Manifesto of the Communist Party and Capital. He also introduced concepts such as false consciousness, base and superstructure, and historical materialism, which have been cited in numerous works by other researchers. According to Marx's conflict theory, when power and resources are unequally distributed in society, conflicts occur between different groups, some demanding social changes and equality. In contrast, others resist, as they do not want to lose power and capital. Marx's conflict theory focuses on the reasons for social conflicts and their consequences. In this theory, there are two opposing parties: the bourgeois, or the upper class consisting of capitalists, and the proletariat, or the working class consisting of poor people. The appearance of capitalism in Europe gave Marx the idea that this system would not last long because of the large chasm between the rich and the poor. He theorized that the feeling of social injustice would stimulate the working class to demand changes and that the feeling of reluctance to share power in the upper class would force them to resist. Thus, in Marx's opinion, capitalism causes the alienation of the masses and the constantly growing anger of the proletariat for being exploited by the bourgeois. In terms of Marx's philosophy, he created the so-called dialectical materialism based on Hegel's dialectics, which is dialectical idealism. Marx thought that dialectics' main focus should not be on the ideal world but on the material world. Marx's dialectical materialism maintains the material aspect of the ever-changing reality of economic activity and production. His theory became the philosophical basis of communism. Thus, according to Marx, capitalism will eventually cause a revolution, which will result in either suppression of the proletariat by the bourgeois or its victory. The revolution will inevitably repeat in the first scenario until the bourgeois is defeated. In the second scenario, the social system will change, and communism will oust capitalism, where everybody will take according to their needs and give according to their abilities. The relevance of Marx's ideas on contemporary capitalist societies. Despite the changes that have occurred in capitalist societies since Marx's times, his theory is still relevant today. This is because, in most countries, there is still a big chasm between the rich and the poor. Although in developed countries, people have managed to find a compromise, there are still people who are unhappy with the situation they are in. As for communism, certainly, after such major failures with its implementation in the 20th century, which caused many wars and resulted in many human casualties, people either despise it or are skeptical about its successful realization. However, certain countries have managed to adopt socialism, the milder version of communism, and are now thriving. The notion of social exploitation. The notion of social exploitation is one of the central concepts in the conflict theory in sociology. The reason for this is that it is, in fact, one of the main causes of the conflict between the proletariat and the bourgeois. Marx thought that social exploitation was inevitable in the capitalist society, therefore, the conflict between the rich and the poor was unavoidable. Thus, the main focus of Marx's sociology is to find a solution to this conflict in the form of communism, where everybody will be happy. Did you like this Karl Marx's sociology and conflict theory sample? To get more works like this one, make sure to check out the free database of academic paper examples at ivypanda.com. You will find thousands of samples for all your study needs, without even having to register.